G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel. I've decided to embark on a new project and put my Sanyo VTR 1000 on hold until I get somebody to fix up the head drum motor. So I've decided to work on restoring this vintage oscilloscope. This is a 1940s, 1950s era Dumont Type 208B cathode ray oscilloscope with a 5-inch cathode ray tube, and as you can see, it is actually operational. I got this oscilloscope from a ham radio friend down the road from me, and I intend to use this oscilloscope as a picture monitor. What I'm going to do is restore it to decent working order, see if I can get it to work as an oscilloscope, and then I'm going to adapt it to work as a TV monitor by just simply using a conversion board to output video to the X, Y and Z axis of this oscilloscope tube. So but firstly I just want to get this oscilloscope working to work as an oscilloscope, and because it's far from working to its optimal performance, because let's face it, it have all the original capacitors in there, which a lot of them would have been paper capacitors back then, and it's got its original components, and I'd imagine the capacitors and the capacitors would be not working that great, and I imagine even the resistors would be out of tolerance by now. So I'm going to be shotgunning those, replacing all those, and we'll go from there. Also the switches, I can imagine they'd be a bit dirty. This switch here is very loose. I can still switch with it, but it's making a lot of movement before it actually clicks the switching. This is actually the sync signal selector. By the way, I actually will go through what the adjustment dials are on this oscilloscope. So you've got your up, down, Y position, which is functional. You've got your left, right, X position, which is also functional. You've got your intensity adjustment, so it really doesn't take much before the beam disappears, and I'll turn it all the way down, but you really got to turn it all the way up to get the beam to its current brightness. You've got a focal adjustment, which is operational as seen. Anyway, the bottom controls here, you've got your sync signal selector, which I demonstrated is very loose, but otherwise working. So you've got external, line frequency and internal selections. And here we've got the fine frequency adjustment, which actually is operational. You've got your sync signal amplitude, which I'm not sure is operational, but if it's supposed to amplify that messy sine wave, then I guess it's not working. You've got your coarse frequency adjustment, which is operational. you've got your gain control here, which is actually operational. And you've got another gain. Oh, that's the Y gain control. Forgot to say. And you've got the X-axis amplifier, which is operational as well. Here you actually also got a switch, which you've got input under 25 volts RMS or input under 250 volts RMS. And yeah, you also got an external, up here you've got an external sync signal input. You've got a signal input, a ground there, test signal, signal input, ground. And of course you've got your on-off switch and your beam on, beam off. So it looks to be mostly operational but not working to its optimal performance. And I mean, if it was working at its optimal performance, you would have a straight line, not a very sort of like, not a very ripply line like we're getting. So, and it wouldn't be bouncing up and down like it is neither. So I need to yeah, replace components. But main thing is it's looks to be reasonably operational for its age and its original components, and the beam and the cathode ray tube's working. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this apart and replace the bad components, replace all the old paper capacitors and out of tolerance resistors and any other component that needs replacing, and hopefully it should be working better. Alrighty, so yeah, this is a new project series. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video when I get started on replacing components. This is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel signing out.